disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
All right, welcome to Fist Kicks and Flicks. Open your kimono and let us in. My name is Eugene Plowden, and with me is my podcasting partner, Mike Gibbs. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Gene, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's going to be good. We're going to have fun with this podcast. We're going to get away from what's going on in the world right now and try and take people's minds off the different things that's going on. Talk about some movies, talk about some karate, and just, enjoy ourselves.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we gonna start reviewing movies, and we want you all to participate with us. So we're gonna do our movies in half. So we're gonna talk about the first half of the movie, and then next week we'll finish up and do the second half. In between that time, you guys can get on Amazon or YouTube or however you can find these movies that we're watching, and send us an email or send us a tweet on Twitter. On our email address is fistkicksflicks@gmail.com, and also on Twitter, fistkicksflicks. Okay? All right, Mike. So, this first movie we saw is a movie that's just, near and dear to us both. Fearless Tiger. Fearless Tiger. So, this movie came out in 1991. And I got to tell you, man, this honestly was the first time I really even paid attention to this movie. I don't remember none of this except for the corny lines that I have recited over the years in the movie, but I didn't know. Like, I'm watching the movie, I'm like, oh, it's about drugs. I never even knew that. That was pretty interesting.
I remember renting it when I was a kid in the Metro Detroit-Politan area at a Video Giant. That's how long ago. And renting out VHS and going home and not knowing what it was, and seeing martial arts tournament competitors that I had seen at karate tournaments. So it intrigued me. And like you said, it's near and dear to our heart, but a lot of sport karate competitors in it, but it was also known as Black Pearls in Canada.
Right.
So I was going to 2 titles.
I was going to ask you about that because I remember when it came out, it was called Black Pearls, and I never knew why they switched to the Fearless Tiger. It didn't really make any sense to me, especially if you watch the movie. It really doesn't make any sense why they switched the name from Black Pearls to Fearless Tiger. You got any idea why they did that?
So there was already a Black Pearls production movie in progress at the time that was never produced in America called Black Pearls. So when they had the company, I forget the name of the company, the movie company, but actually the main character, not Lazar Rockwood, it might have been Lazar Rockwood, the guy that played Salomar in the movie. He was
hold on, Mike. We got technical. Hold on, Mike.
Pearls in Canada.
Wait. You broke up. I ain't hear nothing you said. You froze up. We might have to do some creative editing, maybe. I don't know. What did you say? Repeat what you just said.
So did you hear the part about Lazar Rockwood?
That's where you stopped at, right there.
Okay. So he played Salomar in the movie, and
right.
From what I could find out, that he was in production with a movie called Black Pearls in the United States. So he kind of owned the rights to the name somehow, and they ended up calling it Fearless Tiger in America. Okay. And that's when they produced it and released it in America, because they released it a year later in the United States as opposed to Canada when it was Black Pearls.
Okay. Mike, let me ask you, we around the same age. I think you were a couple years older than me, but
yeah.
Did you grow up on Saturday mornings when we was growing up? They used to have kung fu and karate movies on in the afternoons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what made you want to get into karate and be a martial artist?
A little bit. a little bit of that. My cousins are martial artists. They're all black belts. My aunt and uncle are all black belts. When I started, they were black belts. Actually, yesterday was 35 years in the martial arts for me.
That's
So I
right.
took
Congratulations.
So I took my first lesson when I was 9 years old with them. My cousin always spent
Oh, not again.
They had a band player, so that's how long ago it was. Man, I'm old. I'm 44, about to be 45. So, I
Man, that sounded
remember
like
the Saturday afternoon flicks.
that sounded like an interesting story. Too bad I couldn't hear you broke up again. I couldn't hear a thing you just said. It don't matter. We gonna keep it raw. We gonna keep it going.
Bro, keep it rolling.
All right. So you said you did watch some of the Saturday morning Kung Fu movies. I've seen them on TV too, man. But I was a cartoon guy. Like I didn't really care about the movies, and even though they came on at 12 o'clock. That's not what made me want to get into martial arts. It was my family, it was my dad, it was my uncle, especially my uncle, having all of those trophies in my grandmother's living room all the time, and all you could do is just look at them, and that's what made me want to be in martial arts. And actually, I started when I was like 5 or 6. I remember he used to take me on the bus with him, and we used to go to train. And he had rented out it was like a daycare center, preschool or something like that. And he used to teach us, and I was the only kid. There was no other kids. It was just me. Everybody else was older. Like Calvin Franklin was there. I believe he was there, and Frank, Chris Dowdell. He used to teach me. I think from what I can remember. Like I said, I was real little. So back in '88 when he opened it up, then we pretty much were hooked and wanted to stay with it. But if I would have seen Fearless Tiger back then, I wouldn't have wanted to be a martial artist. This is labeled a karate movie, but it's not even really a karate movie.
Not a karate movie.
The karate in it is pointless. Actually, I ain't gonna even call it karate. He was doing kung fu. The kung fu in this movie is pointless.
Right.
Oh man. I'm about to read the plot for people. Okay. It says a man's brother. That ain't supposed to be funny, but all right. A man's brother dies on an overdose from a new potent drug introduced by a drug gang. He puts off his wedding, a beautiful model, and postpones taking over the family business while he travels to Hong Kong to learn Tiger Claw Kung Fu from its master. Then he plans to take revenge on the drug dealers responsible for his brother's death. And that's a little bit misleading. That's not really technically how this movie went.
They went way off the script.
Right, especially for that plot. Let's get into it, man. We've been talking about this movie, and I know people are a little bit interested who haven't seen it yet. And like I said, if you guys have not seen it, if you haven't seen it in a long time, jump on YouTube. It's on YouTube. You can get it. When me and Mike first talked about it on Saturday, I thought I was going to get it on Amazon. So I jumped on Amazon to see if I can watch it on Prime or something, and it was not there. I was surprised. Mike, and then I saw that you can purchase this movie for $34.95 on Amazon. Like, who would spend $34 on a DVD? Why would you do that? No, not me. I'm not spending $34 on no DVD. I don't care what's on the DVD. I'm not spending $34. When I can go to Walmart and get some DVDs for $5? How dare you try and make me spend $34? That's crazy.
I seen that about faint.
Was it a VHS on there also? I know I saw the DVD.
I have a VHS copy myself.
Okay.
Like my own personal martial arts movie collection. But I have the DVD also, and it's with another movie. It's like a 2-feature thing.
Yeah, I saw that on there too.
Yeah.
Okay. Spend it, but my goodness, man, $34. Man, that's crazy. Okay, so let's jump into it. So the movie, I think it was released in 91, right, Mike?
Yeah, 91.
Okay.
There's a couple different things that say 93, but I think that's the Fearless Tiger Black Pearl thing.
Okay. All right, here we go. So the movie opens up in Hong Kong. Okay, when it opens up, we see a bunch of ships. And it looks like we're on a pier or something. We see some monks training in a temple. It looks like they're doing drills or forms or something. And okay, Salamar, that's when he makes his first appearance. And he's watching them. One of the other big bads in the movie, his name is Bo, and he's training. Right?
Bo is
Salamar.
Glenn Kwan.
Okay.
Another
Now,
sport karate guy.
You would have thought that these two guys would have had a bigger impact on the movie, just based upon how they looked.
It was more like, the character that Glenn Kwan played was more like a not even like a bodyguard type. It was more like a Farnsworth Bentley. I don't know what he was doing. He was just like there. I don't understand his role in the movie. I mean,
right.
I mean, and then Solomon just shows up. He has like this hippie headband on, looking like something from Woodstock. I don't know.
His hair, he looked like from an '80s rock band.
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't even do any martial arts in the whole movie. Nothing. He's standing up there looking like Shredder, and he doesn't do anything. And I was watching, I was like, how did I not realize this the first time I saw it? Like, that was crazy. So then Salamar opens up a secret passage and takes the elevator downstairs, right? And then we see these guys putting baggies of drugs in statues. Okay. Okay, well, was it a trophy? I thought it was just
he gave it away at the tournament.
Yeah, but I saw him do that because Lyle goes over. I thought he said he contributed for them. I thought that was just a way for them to make a couple extra dollars. So it didn't look like it was a trophy because Lyle didn't earn it. He got beat up in the tournament. So I just figured that was just their way of smuggling the. I thought that was just their way of smuggling the drugs into the country. And then they go to Canada. They don't come over to the United States. They go to Canada. That's what the tournament was.
Yeah. So that tournament, real quick, just kind of off subject. It was called. They had a banner in the background that says Jam International. Was that really a tournament? I don't ever remember a Jam International tournament, but it was obviously a real tournament because they did a far away scene, and that's when I noticed it said Jam International. I was like, man, was this a real tournament? So maybe the Canadian people can chime in and let us know before next week.
I have no idea, man. I did see it, but I didn't think of it. What I thought of when that scene happened, I thought, okay, well, is the tournament over or is it just getting started? Because because the visuals are already going on. So I don't get it. Oh well. All right. So the next scene, Salamar is on the pier. Now I want to know. So I'm watching this on YouTube. So Mike, if you ever see something that gets cut off or whatever in the movie, let me know because I think mine was pretty edited. Okay. So the next scene, Salamar's on the pier and he's talking with Bo, and they're getting on a boat, and they have another guy with them, right? Mm-hmm. And they're talking about loyalty. And then he just pushes the guy in the water. It was nothing else. Like, did I miss something?
No, because I didn't understand why he really just pushed him in the water.
I didn't get that either.
There was no reason. I don't understand that whole scene. So
yeah, that was weird. He just I didn't get that. Okay. All right. So then he tells Salamar tells Bo that by the time they get to Toronto, Jerome will have the Nirvana on the streets, and then they get in the car and they say, "Let's go to the airport and win the tournament."
Yep.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was like they didn't explain how. They kind of just showed, okay, this is like our little trap house in the basement. Well, this is how we're gonna get it on the boat, and you're just gonna get in Canada. But besides that, and then now we're at the tournament. They didn't really play in leading up to any type of martial arts or why we're going to the tournament. It's just or at a tournament. So it's just like this is just it's like it almost was like this guy just happens to be a martial artist, and we're gonna surround the movie around a martial artist at that point. That plot, I don't get where they were going with it, but they walk in the tournament and it's on.
A big tournament, man. It had to have been a pretty important tournament. I mean, to leave Hong Kong and go to Toronto to go to a tournament. Right. That's crazy. Okay, the next thing we see Pang. Okay, so Pang is a police officer, and he's in Hong Kong at his desk, and then his boss comes in and tells him he's received more complaints about the drug problem, right?
And his boss, this is the part I didn't get about the whole movie. The boss was English. He's from England. Are you for real? So we're in Hong Kong. This dude's in Hong Kong with this Mongolian looking guy.
Right, we're in Hong Kong.
Man, I mean, it's all over the place already. But I was like, man, who is this guy?
Yeah, and I mean, he was yelling at Pang about the drug problem. He's just yelling at one person. Like Pang is like, he wasn't Batman, man. Like, he can't go clean up the streets of Hong Kong by himself.
Nah, he might not have been Batman, but he wore the Steve Irwin crocodile hunter outfit on the police streets, man. He was out there. They had him in the crocodile hunter outfit with some shorts, the cutoff shirt, looking like the crocodile hunter, man. No police force dresses like the crocodile hunter. I didn't understand that part either, but go on, man. I'm getting ahead of ourselves.
All right, so the next thing we see Pang, he's a Hong Kong police officer. He's at his desk. He's talking with a supervisor, and then the supervisor comes in and rips him to shred. He's complaining about all the drug problem, and he wants to know what Pang is doing about it. So what was your observation again, Mike?
Man, first off was he's an Englishman from England. But kind of like, why is he trying? There's no drug task force team. I don't know if they were before that. Nothing. Like, one individual's going to go kill the war on drugs over there. So I don't know what they were thinking, but he was a little harsh on them.
Then he tells him, he says, okay, the only thing you care about is competing in tournaments and chewing gum. And then he backslaps him and pops his gum.
Workplace brutality. It was at his fullest. I don't know if he was trying to motivate him for the tournament. I don't know what was going on, but it was, like, go fix it.
Yeah, and then after that, they just switched scenes. That was just it.
Right.
that was just, like I said, man, the editing, the writing, the production on this was rough. I mean, goodness. But it's a funny, campy movie. So if y'all want to laugh, y'all most definitely watch it, and especially after hearing our observation of this movie. Okay, so the next scene is in a warehouse. Okay, it looks like a drug deal is going down.
Yeah. And
that's where we see Jerome for the first time. Okay. Yeah. They don't mention like who Jerome is or any of these other people that's there. One guy just tells him that he's interfering in his business, and all of a sudden a shootout happens, just out the blue.
I'm going to be honest. Just to be honest, I'm a little slow. I don't ever understand what Jerome really did.
I took Jerome as like the middleman. Like he was gonna, I don't know. I mean,
like, was there a time he was good and then he was bad, or I'm just like, I don't know, because everyone was friendly with him.
I think Jerome had some issues, man. And some of his scenes when he was talking, like, he looked insane. If you look at his face, he looks insane when they were talking to him. So he got some issues going on. So then all of a sudden it was a car chase.
Yeah.
A car was chasing a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay, Jerome was in the car, and for some reason he jumps out the car or rolls out the car or something. And the car runs into a fence or a wall or something.
It's like a barricade. It was like a barricade of some type, and like a wall barricade with like some mounds, and just
and then exploded. Okay, I've seen a lot of car accidents, and I have never seen an explosion for no reason, just out the blue. Right? It just blew up. The car just blew up with Jerome's driving on the inside of it.
Instantly.
and Jerome is just rolling around on the ground. And then the motorcycle guy is trying to watch. He's looking back, trying to figure out what's going on, and he runs into a van or something, and then he blows up.
It blew up.
A car.
Now, I'm going to tell you, that is, just so you're aware, that is a 1985 Suzuki 250. I had one. I had the exact same motorcycle.
Are you scared to ride it?
Listen, I wrecked blow up. It didn't blow up. I wrecked it so many times. It never blew up like that.
Yeah, that was a big explosion. Like I watched it. I had to rewind it back. I'm like, why did it blow up? Like I can understand if he hit a tanker or something, right. But both the car and the motorcycle blew up just from accidents. Goodness gracious! I'm glad we're not like that in real life, because it'd be a lot of people dead every day.
They put some effort into both scenes, though. Like the car explosion and then the motorcycle explosion, just bam.
They like explosions in this movie, honestly, because
there is some.
There's a few other ones we're gonna get to eventually.
I can't wait till we get a couple more scenes.
Okay, so this is what we was talking about, the tournament. All of a sudden, it just cuts from that explosion to a tournament, a karate tournament, a normal karate tournament.
So that's what they're in the karate tournament called Jam International. So if you call in next week, I want to know, Canadian friends, if that was a real event. I got to know that. Just want to know.
There was a lot of people there. It looked like there was a lot of people there.
A lot of people there. Today's standard, it was more than the NBL tournament, but there's a lot more. But
let's not talk about those guys.
I'm just saying, it was more people in the Jam tournament than there was in the Super Jam. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, so at the Jam tournament, okay, Lyle is fighting. He's fighting Bo, right? Then we see Jerome come in. Like he had no scratches on him. He was just in a shootout. He was
same outfit, crispy, gray suit, crispy. Just walked to the bleachers.
Let me ask you this.
That's how you know this movie is old. Spectator just walked in a crispy gray suit, went to the top of the stands. He wasn't standing around the ring.
No, all right. Right. Let me ask you this too. Was Jerome black or white? Because Jerome had a sweet ass afro.
Jerome was Brazilian, man.
He was Brazilian, you think so?
I'm saying he's Brazilian, man.
We could go with that. Okay, we gonna say
Jalal or whatever his name is, the main character, the guy that played. Yeah, he's Brazilian. He's Brazilian and Lebanese.
Okay,
might have been his cousin. I don't know.
Okay, so Jerome comes in and he sits in the stands. And he's watching, and him and Salomar exchange glances at each other, right? And then in comes Lyle's buddies, Sheffield, Pang, and is it Jock?
Jock.
Jock.
Yeah.
Okay. They never really said their names in the movie. If it wasn't for the credits, none of them would have any names except for Ping.
Right. Sheffield come in looking like Avery hanging out from Chicago on the weekend with sunglasses. Oh man.
Yeah, so they come in. So this is the part I'm talking about. So the tournament is already going on. It's the men's black belt division.
They didn't register. They late for registration.
Right. So either they lost, which I doubt they did, because later on we see Sheffield come out in his gear. But it looked like Ping had lost or whatever, because he was in the back with Lyle. Yeah. Because Lyle, our friend Lyle, who's the star of this movie, right? So he loses to Bo. He gets beat up by Bo.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah. This guy, he gets beat up bad. He gets picked up and slammed and punched, and he goes home.
Now,
okay.
Let's tell the movie for what it is. He picked him up and sat him down. Softest slam I've ever seen in my life. But
Lyle was the producer of this movie, so
don't hurt me. He had that clause. You hurt me, you're not getting paid for this production.
Right.
He got laid down soft.
So then Lyle loses and he's upset, right? And now Lyle is taking his time, leaving the ring.
Yeah.
He speaks to Jock. Jock is on his way out. Okay, he walks into the locker room and then there's Sheffield and Ping and someone else real briefly. And Sheffield and him exchange words. And then he sits down and starts taking off his stuff. Right? And now, after that, like literally, the next scene, we see Lau running out the gym to his car. Did I miss something?
I don't know who he was going after.
Oh, I tell you, he was on his way to his graduation. So
that's right. I forgot about the graduation.
So the day he's graduating, getting his MBA, he goes to a karate tournament.
They're calling him on the speaker like he's late for the graduation ceremony.
Right. So then we're flashing back. So we see him running out. So he wasn't running when he got done. He was taking his time because he was sad. He took his time to the locker room. He sat there and had a conversation with his boys. And then sometime it registered, oh, I'm late. I got to go to my graduation. Right? And he is dipping through traffic. He is speeding. He's going fast. And for some
Porsche.
Yeah. And then
Porsche.
And he starts daydreaming because he looks down at the statue that he has, which we never saw him get.
Right. What did he get it for? I don't know.
He gets this statue, and then they flash back to Ping. Him and Ping are talking in the locker room, and he's upset. And Ping tells him that he can come to Hong Kong, I guess just to get away or just hang out. Like, why don't you just take a trip, come to Hong Kong?
Train. You want him to come train.
That's right.
He recommended for him to come train with his instructor.
Yeah, because he said you need a new instructor. Your instructor sucks.
Yeah.
That's why you lost. That's why you got beat up. All right, come to Hong Kong, buddy. It's not like you just drive across the street or like I'm about to leave Detroit and go to Waterford. That's Hong Kong. He's gonna fly to Hong Kong.
Come on.
So
hey, he did it though.
So he gets to his graduation, like you said, they are calling his name, and he runs through the courtyard, and he kind of sounded like he had an attitude, like I'm here, like
right.
We've been calling you, like what's taking so much time for, you know? And he grabs his MBA and he walks across the stage. Would you ever do something like that, Mike? I don't know, you might do that. You might go to a tournament before your graduation.
I didn't go to my commencement because I went to a karate tournament.
Hey, there we go.
True story. My mother gave me the choice, and I went to the tournament. I went to Bluegrass.
I think there's some other people who didn't go to a graduation that went to a tournament. Also. We're gonna talk about that later. Okay. All right. So that happens. Now he's walking and he's talking with his dad. His dad is real proud of him, right? Now this is one of the a real star in the movie. His dad.
Yeah.
His dad.
What was his dad? What was the guy's name in real life?
Jamie Farr.
Jamie Farr, that's what it was. I only knew him from
MASH.
Oh.
He did something else?
Yeah. Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds.
I ain't never seen no Burt Reynolds movie.
I only seen it because
wait a minute. I know one Burt Reynolds movie I must have saw.
The movie with the Trans Am.
No.
The black car with the golden bird.
I never saw that, man. The movie I saw came out in the 90s. It's called Cop and a Half. That's right, Cop and a Half. Yeah, I'm not going to... There's some other stories about this movie we'll talk about. It's the little boy in the movie. Man, it has a resemblance to somebody, and somebody was going around the school saying that this person was that kid from the movie. So that's pretty interesting. We
might have to review that movie.
That'd be interesting.
Move on.
Anyway, he's talking with his dad. His dad is real proud. He got his MBA. His dad says, you're gonna take over the business.
No. That's at the funeral.
No. This is before then.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad.
Yeah. They talk about this before then. They talk about it twice.
That's right.
The first time he tells him that he wants him to take over the business. He's walking with this girl who they never explained was his fiance.
Right.
She's just there walking with them. Ashley.
Ashley, that's what it was.
Ashley. And then his brother is there also, Lance, and they walk past him, and the girlfriend grabs him, and the dad is just proud how he wants him to work at the family business, and in scene, just out of nowhere, they just ended.
Then it really introduced Lance, because I had to back it up, because I know you'll talk about Lance coming up, but because I was like, all right, hold on, who was Lance again? Like, I had to back it up and put that part together, because there was really no intro to his fiance, his father, or his brother.
No, you just gotta pay attention.
And we're like a quarter way through the movie right now, and no karate has happened up at this point besides the tournament.
Except for the tournaments and the forms that the monks were doing in the temple. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so then we go back to the next scene, and you see Shalimar and Bo. They go to a nightclub and they meet Jerome. This is what I was talking about.
Nightclub had on a suit.
Right.
I mean, it was like Miami Vice 1980s.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of how they looked back in the day. Everybody got suited up to go hang out at a nightclub or whatever.
Go to that other club later, though, that looks like Industry Nightclub in Pontiac.
So that's where I said Jerome is looking crazy, and he's telling them he's interested in the drugs that they're producing in Hong Kong. Was it Nirvana or Nirvana? Because I kept hearing Nirvana,
but I just said A is Nirvana.
Yeah, like the band.
Like the band. He died too.
So Jerome wants to produce Nirvana in Canada, and then he wants to put this drug everywhere, because he was looking crazy when he was like Europe and Africa, and he wanted to put it everywhere, worldwide, right? Yep. And then Shalimar tells them that they can't move the lab. So this is, if you're not really paying attention, this is the main part of the movie right here.
Right there, yeah.
This is it right here, because Shalimar tells him they can't move the lab, and Jerome says, all you have to do, I'll create the lab here. I just need the blueprints of the lab, and I need to know how to make it, how to make the drugs, how to make Nirvana. And he tells them to put it on a disc and give it to him. Yeah. He was like, it's more addictive to crack. This could be $1 billion a year industry.
Yeah. It was meth before meth. I mean, they were making it. I mean, you'll talk about that later in the scenes, but it's actually it was like an actual biochemistry that they were doing to make Nirvana. So I mean, it's pretty in depth, but that is key, because he wanted, to be that middleman and be the distribution man and take it worldwide. It was a key part in the movie.
Yeah, because Shalimar really wasn't cool with that, because
you could tell.
Yeah, because he was like, I got everything set up the way it is. I got, good connections, how to move the stuff. And Jerome was like, well, because it's so addictive, you're gonna reach a point where you can't keep just putting them in the statues, because you're gonna have too much demand for them, pretty much. Right. So that's why he wanted to open up the factory or warehouse or whatever. He wanted the lab over in Canada.
If you think about it, Shalimar was actually smart, because he wasn't trying to get it too big.
Right.
He was like, how are we going to do this? He was more of the businessman, and Jerome was just trying to get paid.
Right. That's it.
You can tell.
Yeah, he just lost all his boys in that accident. Oh, that's another thing about the accident in the warehouse. Like, everybody was getting shot left and right, and you still don't even know what happened. Like, all of a sudden,
why did they shoot?
Pop, pop, pop. Both sides.
And the guy, go back to that scene for a second. The guy had on like the blue and white warm-up suit, the big guy. I don't even know if he got shot. He just looked like he just fell over like the Undertaker. I don't even know what happened to that guy. But
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he'll come back for part 2. Okay, so the next scene, we cut from there, and we see Lyle and Ashley. He gives her the statue and tells that he bought it from the monks, and she asked for another one. She's so greedy. He gives her gifts, and she asks for another one. Like, who does that? Like, why would you do that? Like, this one ain't enough for you? You want another one? You just can't take one statue. She's like, oh, I need another for my bookend.
Yeah, bookend.
Oh man, that was. Hey, come on now.
They almost lost their life over that bookend a couple times.
Right, right. Man, I got something else to say, but that's gonna be in part 2 about that other statue. Okay, so she's painting, and then she asks like she's planting seeds because I don't think she wants him to work for his dad, but I don't know what she wants him to do either.
I think she was trying to I think she was going to try to maneuver herself into the role somehow. I mean, if I wrote the movie, that's how it went down. She would have got some powers somehow.
Because she was just a painter, right? So she's just standing there. So you telling your man, your fiance, don't take a job. Meanwhile, we're gonna live off my paintings. Is that what she thought was gonna happen?
Hey, she thought she was in that Picasso. I don't know what she thought.
Right. I don't know, man. But he obviously he didn't feel like having this conversation. He left. He gives her a kiss and then he walks out and he goes to work. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's the end of that scene. The next scene, we see Lyle pulling up at his job and his brother there, Lance. He's outside. So this was a little weird. I don't know what was going on. So when he first saw him, was Lance doing drugs outside of work or was he smoking a cigarette? I couldn't tell.
I think he was getting high.
Yeah, I thought so too because, Lyle automatically got off the car and had an attitude.
Attitude with him right off the rip.
Right. So why, who does drugs out in the open in front of the business? In front of the front door. He's doing drugs in front of the front door.
It was like 89, 90.
Yeah, but it's a bright sunny day. You just not worried about customers. What type of business was it? Because I don't even think they said.
It didn't say. It didn't say because I thought about that. I was like, man, what was he doing? But yeah, it never did say. So he was doing something though.
But Lance wasn't happy. He didn't like working there. He wasn't happy working there himself. And he a matter of fact, they both had problems with each other because Lance had a problem that Lyle was coming to work there because Lance didn't want to work there.
Yeah.
And then Lyle had a problem with Lance because he was doing drugs.
Yeah. And then
you think?
Yeah. So I just think that neither one. It was like maybe I'm trying to put more into the movie than what it was, but it was like one of those things where I think both brothers didn't want each other, but wanted to be united against the father in the business. Right. Like maybe rebel, get two brothers against the business, or I'm playing, but their riff was too much to overcome it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to make the movie better than what it was.
I don't know, man. Because another thing that was weird to me was, okay, so I was thinking maybe Lance wanted to be the vice president and he was upset that his brother was coming to be the vice president. But then it was like, no, that's not the case because Lance obviously does not want to work here at all. Yeah. So I'm thinking, and the father really didn't think too much of Lance either.
No.
So
he really wanted Lyle. He made that apparently clear.
Right. So I don't know why he just said, well, go on, Lance. You can leave. You don't want to work here. You don't want to be here. Bounce. Right. Go. Get out of here. Okay. So Lyle asked Lance what he had. And he said he had fish food. That was important also. Yeah. That he had fish food. Which was basically the Nirvana. He was calling it fish food. Which is I don't know, did it look like fish food? Why would that be the name of the drug? Why would you call it that?
All the little guppies wanting some? I don't know. Fish food. I don't know.
So this was crazy. This is real crazy. So the next thing after that, okay, so Lyle and Lance go their separate way in the office, and then the dad comes up, and then he takes Lyle to his door and says, it shows him his nameplate on the door, said, "You're the vice president." And then end scene. That was it.
That's it.
The next
promoted,
scene,
nothing.
Yeah.
That's it.
The next scene, we see Jerome in a warehouse, and all he is doing is smashing statues. And then somebody says, "We're gonna be rich, boss," and that was it. That was the end of the scene.
Yeah, I think that's the start of the turn. That's the swerve move right there, where Jerome was just breaking it all up. And he was I don't think in his mind, he thought he was about to get control.
Yeah,
I don't know what he was thinking, but
I don't know. I mean, why was he taking it out on those statues? I didn't get it. Like, I don't.
like I think he was trying. Like that's what I was trying to figure out too, because I watched that a couple times, and I was like, man, this is just he's just trying to mess up the production. You know, I couldn't
I
really
don't know,
put my
man.
mind under it.
Yeah, maybe if you guys have any ideas,
Let us know.
Let us know. If you was in this movie and you know what
Let
happened,
us
let
know.
us know. Okay.
If you was in this movie and you want to be anonymous, make up an alias and let us know.
Okay, so the next scene, Lyle is driving in a rainstorm. He goes to a house. Now this was a big house, I did not. It was huge.
This house looked like Trump's on 8 Mile when it first opened. I swear to God, same lighting,
Right.
same decor,
Right.
everything.
So I was wondering, okay, so is this Lyle's house? Is it Lance's house? Is it the parents' house, or do they all live together? I couldn't really tell.
That had to have been Lance's house. Like I said, it was decorated like Trump's.
So Lyle and Lance, so Lyle just walks up and just goes into his brother's house.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Like, no key. I mean, he might have had a key, but just walks. He goes to his brother's refrigerator, looks in the refrigerator,
Right.
and then just saying hello. Is anybody here?
Right.
Looking around for him, right? He goes upstairs, and then he's knocking on his brother's door. He's calling his name. Now, at this point, there's nothing that seems like something's wrong. It just looks like it's an empty house, right?
No, see, I got a different vibe though.
Okay, go ahead.
I got the vibe that he felt that something was wrong.
Is he? Wait a minute. Is he a Jedi? Did we switch movies?
I don't
Wait a minute, because like to me, like, it was just empty. It was just an empty, dark house. Like nobody had been home, and he was just walking. He knocked on the door, and then all of a sudden, he just burst into his brother's room.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what if his brother was in there with a woman? That would have been awkward. That would have been uncomfortable.
That would have been real awkward.
Yeah.
If he was like, "Hey, come on in. I'm having some fish food."
Right. Right. So yeah, so he burst in and he looks around, and then he sees in the bathroom, he sees his brother laying on the floor. Okay. OD, overdose. Okay. Then I'm assuming he calls the ambulance, because the next thing we see is the ambulance outside, and Lyle is sitting on a couch, looking upset that he just found his brother dead, and for some reason he decides to I forgot, this is the era before cell phones.
Right.
So
no, Solomon has one later
that's right.
on.
That's right, he does have one, and I didn't think nothing about that when I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he turns to the side and he presses an answering machine. Okay, so for those of you who do not know what an answering machine is,
oh yeah, explain it, because there are some young folks out there.
It's a little box that used to be on the side of the telephone, and that's where your messages used to go. So before voicemail, we had answering machines.
Answering machine, yeah.
So he hits the button and he hears that a person by the name of Slash had contacted Lance and told him that he had him some more fish food for him and he can come and get it. Lyle hears it and gets upset, right? Okay.
This is my favorite part. Besides the karate scene.
So then Lyle, as y'all can see, we're not even talking about karate. We have not. This could have been Mel Gibson in this movie. This did not have to be a karate movie. Okay, so the next thing, Lyle decides to go to this rock bar, and he's looking for Slash. I guess he goes to the place where Slash told him he left a message for Lance that he can get the fish food.
Fish food, yeah.
Right. Okay, so why would you do this? Why would you go by yourself? You're not a police officer. You're not a former military person. You're not a superhero. You're in your suit still. And you decide to go confront the person who sold your brother drugs.
That rage, or you're losing your brother, man. This heart-wrenching moment. He goes into the nightclub.
Right.
Looking for Slash.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my favorite part of the movie, because It was easy to find Slash because he had a shirt on that said Slash.
Was it a shirt? I thought it was a chain. I was like, is that a chain that says? I thought it was a big. It was a T. Yeah, it said Slash right across the top.
Like he wasn't even hiding who he was. Slash.
So Slash is sitting there looking cool. Got a couple girls around him.
Yeah.
And then Lyle just attacks them. Okay. I'll just assume that there would have been we're gonna see this too, but some bouncers should have gotten to him quickly or some security. But Lyle takes Slash outside in the backyard, behind the bar in the alley and attacks him pretty much, and then that's when the goons come.
Now, the bouncer that took him out was a sport karate competitor too, named Scott Hogarth from Canada.
Okay.
There's a lot of sport karate people in here, but the bouncer takes him out.
And they're doing pretty much they're doing one steps. That fight scene was one steps. That's what they were doing.
One steps. It was. And the man couldn't throw a roundhouse kick. Like I understand, he was a. So after I read, I did some research. He was a Shotokan stylist, but Lyle
in real life.
Real life, he started with Shotokan, and then he changed over to Kung Fu. So that's like when he's in the soft motions, and then he's training in Hong Kong, and he's just straight throwing.
I didn't really believe that this was a real martial artist. Honestly.
He's a real martial artist because after I watched the movie, I'm like, man, was this guy a real martial artist, or did they just try to teach him martial arts for 30 minutes before production? That's how it was looking to me, but it says that he was Shotokan and Kung Fu.
I think honestly, Daniel LaRusso is a better martial artist.
Without a doubt. Hey, I'm promoting Daniel LaRusso and not Lyle.
For real.
Yeah, my 9-year-old son, he kicks better than Lyle does.
Yeah, Lyle. Oh man, wow. Okay, so now he has Slash up against a wall or something, and he's choking him with his forearm. He has his forearm in his throat.
And the girl is just standing there.
Yeah. Well, one tries to interrupt, and he pushes her in the face.
Right. At the end. She's like...
So okay, so and I couldn't understand a thing that Slash was saying at this point. I couldn't make out what he was saying.
Mm-mm.
Right? So he has his throat up against him, and I see Lyle ask where he can get some fish food. So he knows that Lyle distributes fish food, and now he's going to take it even further.
The man,
right? Like who does that? Like, come on, who would really do that?
He have a gun.
Right? He didn't have anything. He had his karate. He had his Shotokan karate. That's what he had. That's all he had. That's all he was armed with. Right? So then what does he do? Okay, so he has Slash up against the wall. Slash tells him that it's called Nirvana, and he stops choking him, right? And Slash, all of a sudden, his hands were at his side, and he put his hands in his pocket, and he pulls out a knife, and he yells at him, right? So I'm thinking, when I saw that part, I had to rewind this back a couple of times. I'm thinking okay, Slash, dude, why didn't you pull the knife out when he was choking you? Like, your arms are right there. He's not paying attention to your left arm. Put your left hand in your pocket, and you can just shank him. Bop, bop, bop.
All in the ribs.
That's it. And it would have been roll credits at the end of the movie.
Over.
So that was crazy. So you said that was your favorite. This is your favorite part, right?
And my favorite part was Slash. Slash is dope, man. Leaving his name on the answering machine, just letting people know who he was. Like, I would have been Slash, man.
Slash was promoting himself.
Slash owned the club. He was. When you guys watch the movie, you're gonna love Slash. Slash was in the back of the club, had all the girls around him, a table. Slash, you'll see.
Right.
He was on. Slash was owning the club.
So then he beats up Slash again. Slash has a knife, but then Lyle somehow beats him up, knocks him out, knocked him down, and then you just see the girls over Slash, and that's the end of that scene.
Stop! Mm-hmm. I gotta stop you.
Okay.
Did you notice in the scene the same? It was a like a sewer or something in the background, and the smoke coming up, and it was hot pink.
No, I didn't pay attention
Oh
to
my god!
that.
Looked like a nightclub in the alley.
Maybe
I was
it
like,
was the
what is
light.
that in the
Maybe it was the
background?
lights from Slash's Club. Maybe.
Man, I don't know what it was, but I was like, man, it's like a neon pink glow. Like
I gotta watch that part again. I gotta watch that part again.
Watch that again before next week.
Okay, so so Lyle is feeling pretty confident, but for some reason he's feeling pretty confident, and he beating everybody up, and that was at Slash's Club. But then the next scene he goes to another bar, because I guess in that muttering that Slash was doing, he told Lyle what was going on and who to go speak to. Yeah. Because he goes to the next bar and he's looking for Jerome. He says this, he's looking for Jerome. And then as soon as he walks in, he sees a waiter. He just attacks a waiter.
Yeah. For no reason.
Reason.
But this was the part I was confused. So did Slash tell him about Jerome? I didn't get that part though.
I think that's what he said when he was choking him. Remember I said he was choking him? I couldn't understand what he was saying, what Slash was saying, because Slash was talking. I just couldn't make out what he was saying.
Well, that's when he had told him. Because I couldn't put that part together when I was watching it.
That's another thing that you guys can do. If you guys watch this movie, figure out what is Slash telling Lyle and email us to let us know, because I couldn't make it. I rewound it a couple times and I couldn't make it out.
Well, that makes sense though, because he went to the next spot,
right,
looking for Jerome, and just started beating people up again.
Right, and he beats a waiter up, but then at this bar it's a little different because the bouncer wasn't happening. They took him out, but before he got taken out of the bar, he sees Salamar and Bo sitting there with Jerome. So he sees Bo, Salamar, and Jerome sitting at a bar, sitting at a table in the bar, and then he gets taken out and thrown into the alley. Yeah. They told him to get out of here, and that's it. So after that, Lyle is in his office looking sad. He decides to call Ping. Did he he was on a landline, wasn't he? Or was he on the cell phone? I can't remember.
He was on landline.
Landline. Okay.
He was at his desk.
That's right. He was at his desk. And then he asked Ping if it was still cool if he got to come over there just to get away. You know, I guess he couldn't take it anymore.
He had to go train.
Right. Okay. The next scene we see, he's at the funeral after this part, right?
Yeah.
So it's Lyle, his dad, and Ashley. They're at Lance's funeral, and they're walking away from the gravesite. And then Lyle tells his dad that he's not coming into work on Monday.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. I don't want to be. I'm not gonna take over the business.
Right. Now this is a little funny because Ashley
turned on her. They turned on her though.
That's why I said it was funny. Ashley interrupts the conversation and tells Lyle's dad that Lyle wasn't looking forward to working for the company. He was just scared to disappoint you. That was her words. And then Lyle tells Ashley, "I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to go through with the wedding." Okay. And then the dad flips it on her. And he tells her, "No. Lyle, what did he say? How did he say it? He said it pretty much like Ashley. He wasn't looking forward to it. That was you. He just didn't want to disappoint you." That's what he tells Ashley. And then they tell Lyle that that he's being selfish, and he's crazy. And Lyle just says, "Well, I got something I got to do. Something I always wanted to do, and something he dreamed about." And he pretty much just walks away from his dad and his fiance.
Yeah. What did they call the tournament?
Oh, you know what? I did not write the name of that down. It started with a B.
Bivmar, something like that. Bomar. Yeah.
Something like that. But he did not say at that point, he did not say that's what he was going to do.
No, he just said he was getting away and didn't want to run the business, and the dad was like, "I'm disappointed. I built this business for you." Blah blah blah. So
I didn't even take that as him wanting to go to the tournament in Hong Kong. I took that as him wanting to go train kung fu. And
I took it as him wanting to go to the tournament. That was in the back of his mind all along.
Okay, well, I mean, because he never said nothing to Ping about it, so I never thought about it until later. He mentioned it sometime later.
He had wanted to win the tournament.
Right. Which is crazy. The next thing we
I'd
see.
have 10 pointed him, man.
Yeah,
He'd have got it.
that tournament was something else. Anyway, Lau arrives in Hong Kong and he's walking around. I guess he's looking for Ping's karate school or where Ping trains.
Yeah.
Right. And he finally sees Ping, and as soon as he sees him, he's happy to see his boy. He just drops his bag right there. Yeah. And he takes about 2 or 3 steps and gives Ping a handshake and a hug. And then all of a sudden,
this is my favorite part too.
A drug abuser just goes in his bag.
It was a kid.
It was a kid.
It was a kid.
And he grabbed something and then runs off.
A watch. Grabbed a watch out of his bag. A watch.
Okay.
Like he's stealing a diamond ring out of a bag.
Right.
He's going.
And he just runs, and he runs into, what was that, a box of crabs or something? He runs into a box.
The kid just gets tripped, falls on the crabs. The crabs are on the ground like biting, and the kid's just laying there.
He lays there.
Man, he didn't move.
He didn't move. And he doesn't move because we come back to this scene later on, and the kid is still laying there.
He's still there. And the crabs were moving. Man, you couldn't pay me in real life to lay on some crabs. I mean, they were snapping.
Oh man, maybe they was actors too, man. That was
just stuff. I don't know, but he laid there because he's there forever.
Yeah, we never see him get up, and we don't even see why he fell. Like nobody tripped him. I guess he just was clumsy. He just ran into all those boxes.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I bet you he died of a drug overdose.
Well, they didn't seem awfully concerned because they were standing over him talking about him. They didn't say, let's get him some help. Let's look at him. They just grabbed the watch and was like, okay, well, let's go back.
Yeah. That whole scene was cool, though.
Yeah, so he just, I put in my notes that he's just laying there, and I put dead with a question mark right next to it. But, you know, Ping says that he's hungry, and he's hungry for drugs. Mm-hmm. And then he tells them that the addicts are taking over the streets and the neighborhood used to be nice. Yeah. Right. So then Ping introduces Lau to how do you say his name? Was it Donman?
Yeah.
Donman? I think it was
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So we gonna call him Donman for this. So that's Ping's instructor.
Yeah.
All right. And Lau says something to him in Chinese, but Diamond speaks English.
Right.
So I think that should have been something that Ping should have told him before he got there. You know,
he kind of embarrassed him.
Yeah, exactly.
He just started talking back to him in English. So it was like, all right, yeah. But.
So then he tells him he has to prove himself. So he's just not going to. So Lau comes to train with him. I guess he wants to improve his skills and also learn kung fu now. Diamond tells Lau he has to prove himself for a while before they begin his training. So I guess he's from the Mr. Miyagi school because he has Lau like doing like chores.
Yeah, painting the wall. Looks like he was scraping the brick wall and then he was repainting it white. But he had said though, not that he wanted to learn kung fu, he was already a kung fu artist and wanted to get his red slash.
Yes, yeah,
he was trying to get promoted. So I took it as, okay, I'm gonna go get promoted.
So what do you think your instructor would say? Like, can you imagine that? Like, I couldn't imagine that. Like, I probably wouldn't be welcome at Easter or something. Like, if you decide just to go to another school to get a promotion, like
there's no loyalty among thieves. I'll say that. So, I mean, if you're gonna give up years of training with one instructor to go somewhere else and get rank, then I don't have no respect for you. So, I don't respect Lyle at this point in the movie. You just going there to get you a red slash. I don't got no respect for you, man.
And that's crazy too, man, because it did not seem like Lyle was in Hong Kong very long. He was there for years.
He was there long enough to learn how to do a horse dance with some teacups on his leg, and that got you your red slash. That's
pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That was crazy. So did you see his accommodations where they had? It seemed like they told him to. It's like a outhouse or something.
It was like a hut, like a. I don't know what it was. It was like in the outside training dojo. So to me, it was set up. There was an inside dojo, an outside dojo with the sand and the heavy bags, and then there was like an overhang with a drape curtain where it was like a changing room, but like you gonna stay in the changing room.
Right.
That to
I don't
me,
know, man.
He lived in the changing room.
That was it. It looked pretty bad, man. I wouldn't have wanted to stay there.
No, man. I don't want to go to Hong Kong.
Not right now. I don't want to do any flying right now.
Right. Sure.
Okay. So so after that, he puts his things up. And then they walk outside, and Diamond is upset. He's yelling at Ping because of the drug epidemic that's going on over there, and that's where we see the kid. He's still laying there.
He's still dead. That's what makes me think he was dead.
Now Ping did, but they still Ping had switched clothes. He changed clothes. Like, how long does it take to get rid of a dead body or get some other police presence or something?
In Hong Kong, man. I don't know. I've never been there. Like, he changed out of the crocodile hunter suit. That's all I care about. They had Ping dressed like the crocodile hunter. I had issues with that suit. No police should ever look like that. Hey, if you write in or email us or put on Twitter, please, what do you think of the police officer's outfit? Did it not look like the crocodile hunter? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got a couple more minutes. We're about to wrap up real quick.
First half.
For the first half. So
second half, we get to karate. I promise. There's karate in the second half of the movie.
Okay, so I'm about to go a little bit faster for the next couple of minutes. While we got, but if you feel free to stop me, Mike. No. Okay, so Diamond is upset about the drug problems. And then Ping tells Lau that the neighborhood is getting bad, and used to look so nice. And Lau says, "How come you don't arrest them?" Like what? Like, why would you say that? Like, don't you think he's been trying to arrest him? You know, what a simple question. Like, why don't you just, put him in jail? And then Ping wants to know where the Nirvana's coming from because he doesn't know where the drug is coming from or whatever. So, as you can see, at this point, Lau is not in Hong Kong to investigate his brother's murder. At this point, he's just there for the kung fu. That's it.
Right. Get his mind away.
Right.
Get his rank, whatever.
Okay, so the next scene, the monks are training in the temple, and we see Salamar talking to the chemist, and he's telling him to put everything on a disc, and the chemist tells him it won't be easy. And then he tells him it can take a couple of months.
2 months.
2 months.
Told him it take 2 months to put on different disc and write it.
Is that? I mean, I know this is a long time ago, and that seems so crazy now. Like, to me, like, it seems like we could put anything on a disc or a CD or something, or even in a Dropbox, and just give the information to somebody real quick.
Travis, is that true?
it seemed like it, man. It seemed like it, but this is actually at this point, it's about this was 91, so this is almost 29 years ago, pretty much. So
I don't know if they were on a Commodore 64 or they were on I don't know what they were on, but them computers or something else.
They had a Texas Instrument. That's what they had.
I don't know what it was, man.
Okay, so Lyle is starting to get upset now because he has been doing manual labor. He's been scraping the paint off the walls. He's repainting the wall, and he's not happy at all. And Ping tells him to be patient. Meanwhile, in the background, he's doing this during class. So class is going on, and he just has to sit there and do this manual labor. And he wants to get involved, and they're not letting him, which was a little weird. The next scene, Lyle is outside. It's nighttime. He's practicing the form, and you just see Diamond watching him from a distance. I don't think Lyle knew, but he's just practicing his forms. I don't know, I guess he's getting his own exercise in since they won't help him.
Right.
Then once
he was he was out in the yard, so he goes from the dojo into the yard real quick, and but he was taking his frustrations out. Like, he was all right, I'm gonna get out here and train at least. So
right. And then the next scene, you see Ping and Lyle walking along the pier talking, and Ping tells them to be patient. Pretty much.
Be patient.
That's it. So, and then the next scene, just like the last one, this is when Lyle pretty much has a meltdown. He's painting the wall, and then He says he's been there for. Well, did he say he's been there 1 week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks, I think.
Okay, let us know. Let us know, right? Let us know. So he's frustrated at this point. Like he really has a meltdown. He's acting like a brat. Now I can tell Diamond was getting a little upset with him also. And then Lyle tells him he shouldn't have came there in the first place. And then he takes the paint and dumps it on white paint, and he just turns it upside down and just dumps it on the floor.
Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't
walking
imagine nothing
into
like
karate
that.
school.
I would have told Ping that
Rick's not showing nobody a reverse punch, and somebody gets mad and just dumps paint on the floor.
Ping.
Y'all did the dumb kung fu people like y'all did the real kung fu people that came in there.
That was fun. We're not gonna talk about that now, but I was there for that. That was fun. That was fun. But Ping, I would have told Ping to lock the door. We have an issue. Lock the door. Nobody's gonna leave. Okay, Lyle. If you want to train, we gonna train now. Okay, and then he would have had to learn a hard lesson because that was just disrespectful to act like that.
Yeah. I'm disappointed. Now I'm not about violence, but I'm disappointed about the other students. Like you're not gonna dump paint on my instructor's floor.
No, and I know that you're a loyal guy, Mike. I know you're a loyal guy. When somebody messes with somebody's instructor, I've seen you throw some punches at people that disrespected your instructor.
Not me.
I've seen some things happen in different places.
But so are we going to cut to that? We just stopped talking right there. Are we going to go to that? Are we ending at that scene, or are you going to go back?
I got a little bit more.
Because I'm proud of Lyle, though. I'm proud of Lyle.
You're proud of Lyle?
I'm proud of Lyle a little bit. He admitted he did wrong.
No, well, he did, but you know what Lyle did was he went outside and he starts talking to that waitress. And he gets interested in that waitress. Now, mind you, this guy just came from Hong Kong, has a fiance. He came here and he starts talking to this waitress at this tea house.
See, I'm not mad at Lyle though, because listen, in my world, she broke up with him at the funeral, so he could talk to the waitress. He could talk to the waitress.
He just said he wasn't ready to get married. Right? He didn't say he didn't want to marry her. Period. He just was. That's how I took it. Like, right
they
now,
were engaged. He broke up with her.
Yeah, I guess, man. Anyway, so after talking to the waitress, he realizes that he messed up, and he goes back inside and he apologizes.
Cleans it up.
But you can tell that Lyle is interested in this waitress.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then Lyle and Doman, they have a conversation, and they pretty much patch things up between them. And they begin to, he tells. This is also important, also, which I had to watch this movie 4 times before I realized this. But Doman tells Lyle about responsibility and why he does not want to teach him automatically. He wants him to be patient because he want to make sure that he is responsible with what he teaches him, because he used to have a student back in the day who's done bad and evil things.
Right. So
later on, we find out who that person is.
Right. In the movie. That's key to the movie.
Right. So he wanted to make sure, but the way that Lyle had been acting, I wouldn't have wanted to teach him martial. I would have no, dude, you're not ready. You don't have no patience.
Lyle got beat up.
Right. Okay, so in the last scene, we see Ping in his office, and he's talking with his boss. And his boss is like on his head again, just pretty much tearing him apart, going after him. But then his boss's boss walks in.
Yeah.
Right, and he pretty much says, leave him alone. He's doing the best he can. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, right. Pretty much it.
And so we get to some karate next time, I promise.
So what'd you think of the first part of the movie, Mike?
So I'm just gonna say this: it's a B-rated martial arts movie. So when you guys check it out, understand that it's not a A-rated martial arts movie, if you will. But on just the first half, I'm only like a half star on it right now, and I'm like a 1 star for it being B-rated.
Right.
But I got the overall rating, it picks up a little bit for me, kind of puts this story together. I don't want to ruin it, but it's right now it's a like I come home from 2:30 in the morning and it's on, I'm gonna watch it.
To help you go to sleep?
Probably.
All right. Well, so basically, what we want is for you guys to check out the movie.
Oh, we haven't mentioned this.
What's that?
Maybe you did at the beginning. Bolo Young is in this movie.
No, I don't think I did mention that. That's right. Bolo is in the movie.
We've talked about half this movie, and it stars Bolo. He's not even in. We're not even talking about Bolo yet.
Yeah, the second half. I guess the second half is a little bit better.
It picks up a little bit. That's what I'm saying.
And it goes a little bit faster too. The second half kind of goes a little bit faster because a little bit more fighting, and there's no need for us to break down the different, somewhat fighting in the movie. So it's called Fearless Tiger. Like I said, if you guys own it currently, you guys can watch it. If you want to buy it on Amazon, go ahead and do that.
I saw it on eBay too.
It's on eBay? Okay.
It's on eBay.
Okay. But the easiest way to do it, you can watch it on YouTube. Just type in Fearless Tiger. You can find it and then watch it. Let us know what you think of the movie, and then email us at fistkicksflicks@gmail.com. Fistkicksflicks@gmail.com, or send us a tweet, fistkicksflicks on Twitter. Now I'm gonna tell you guys this. I literally just made the Twitter, so it looks there's no profile picture or nothing, so y'all not gonna see nothing on there yet. But I'm gonna get to it within the next couple of days. We're gonna make it nice, so you guys know this. It's gonna be a legit Twitter account. But like I say, either one of those, get at us. Let us know what you guys think of the movie, and then we gonna get back with you with the second half of Fearless Tiger. What do you think, Mike? How do you think the first show went?
I think it went good.
Good.
Looking fun. Forward to the feedbacks, especially from the Canadians.
That's right.
I want to see if we get anyone that was around the movie at that time, because some of the people that played some roles I'm actually friends with through Facebook, because my original instructor competed with him and actually trained with a lot of the Canadians in this movie.
Okay.
So I'd like to see if just anyone feeds back and says, we were filming here, we were filming there, I don't know. I think your uncle had told me one time that it was filmed in Canada and then different places also.
You know what? I remember when he first told. I remember him coming over to my grandmother's house and him telling us about the movie, that he was going to be in the movie. And I got excited when he told me he was going to be in the movie, and I had to been like. It came out in 91, so he had to film it a couple years before it happened. So, but 89. It had been 89. Okay, so at 89, I might have been maybe depending on the type of the year, I might have been 12 years old or so, 12, 13. I was young, right? So I remember him telling us that he was going to be in the movie, and I got excited. And then I asked him what was his role, and he said he was going to be one of the star's best friends. And then I got sad. I got upset, and I don't even know if he remembers this or not. But he was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Well, man, you're gonna die." I was like, I mean, the star's best friends always get beat up or something bad happens to them. They die, and then they go and revenge his death. So I got to say, I didn't want to see my uncle die on film. So that was initially what I thought. Like, man, I'm about to really see this, And then of course, black people, we don't really have a good track record of ending movies. And other type of movies. It's not us, So I really didn't think that he was going to make it to the end of the. Unless you're Wesley Snipes at that time. But yeah, they wasn't. Them they could make it, but they not going to be the best friend. They not going to be the buddy. That's not going to be them. All right, my people. So let us know what you think. Get at us on email us or on Twitter. And we're going to roll out of here. You ready, Mike?
Sure.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Peace.